watching Faithworld TV. Faithworld TV, changing the world with the Word of God.
A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching us. Yes, it's a brand new week, and as usual, we bring you important information that will benefit you from wherever you're watching. And today we are blessed to have Dr. Oyedokun, the International President of Institute of Information Management, an organization that is in 9 countries. And now, after coming from Australia, he's straight in London to do one of the most important events that he conducts all over the world, and that's the induction of some of the dignitaries and professionals into the institute. And so the London edition is going to be the 58th. The London edition is going to be the 58th, and I know that there's excitement around this event. And it's no wonder we already have an interest, we already have calls, because this institution is one that, for me, myself, I'm very proud of. But I will not be doing it justice if I talk about it. And the president is sitting right here next to me. President Oyedokun, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's really good to be here today.
You know, I look at you and I say, when does he sleep? From one country to the next, from Nigeria to Ghana to Australia to USA, now to the UK, And what you're doing is something of high value, not just to individuals, but organizations all over the world. Now, tell us more about Institute of Information Management.
Thank you very much. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to be here today. And, having this great organization hosting the premier international professional institutes, promoting data, information records, content, documents, knowledge, and archives management. The Institute of Information Management, it's an international professional body. It was established in 2010 by the Records and Information Management Awareness Foundation, the RIMA Foundation.
Right.
And the essence for establishing this great institute is to promote excellence in data and information management.
Absolutely.
So as an international professional institute, we've created a platform where individuals, organizations, and governments can actually benefit from. If I had to take it from the individual point of view, the institute was established to help professionals that are in the field of data and information management to be able to, build and develop within the data and information management career ecosystem,
right.
And also create a platform where they have the opportunity for certification. And when it comes to how they apply, the management of data and information, we talk about application of standards,
right,
in the process of capturing information, classifying information, indexing information, storing information, sharing information, protecting information, and ultimately disposing.
Most important, protecting information.
Yeah.
Right now, as you mentioned earlier, that the main reason you're in London now is to discuss the issue of, after pro-Brexit, protecting data.
Yeah.
What are the challenges? And I know that we have someone on the line already, I think, interested in talking about this issue. Are you there? Good afternoon. Where are you calling from? Hello? Hello? Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back to the person, but please bear with us. We've just started the show and we're trying to get as much information as possible. I'm trying to get all the gist about this amazing organization. And yes, so pro-Brexit, a lot has happened, a lot has changed, policies have been implemented, new policies have come in, and so where does your organization come into this?
We're actually here to ensure that professionals that are tasked with protecting data and information, managing data and information, they have the opportunity.
Okay, let's.
Where they got the opportunity to learn best practices.
Please bear with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
let's pick this one, and then we can carry on with the conversation.
all right.
However, if we do not pick your call, just send us a text, and we'll read the text message. Yeah. So as you were saying, in terms of the UK.
Yeah, the pro Brexit, regime. We want to ensure that professionals that are tasked with managing and protecting data, they are abreast of technology, they are abreast of recent happenings. They have the opportunity to acquire the right skills to be able to cope after Brexit, and be able to carry out their professional function effectively and in line with the law, and by so doing, protecting the organization, from running against the law. Right.
And so the organization is universal, but of course, every country that you're operating it has its own policies.
Sure.
So how do you link this? How do you make sure when you're giving all the trainings that you are specifically focusing on, the different regions with their own different policies?
Yeah, I think you already demystified the question you asked.
Yes.
Because of the fact that the individual countries do have their regulations and their laws. And in terms of what we train people on, is usually based on the local law as it applies to that particular region or the country or the continent. And, being an international professional institute, we've got best of the best in terms of resource persons, the facilitators. These are renowned individuals that have been in the field for decades, people that have practiced, severally and extensively in the field. So based on this, we're able to customize and be able to deliver, appropriate training materials, courseware, and also, give them the opportunity to become certified professionals.
Amazing. We do have a caller on the line. Let's pick this one. Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Dr. Mrs. Akonji. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Welcome to the show. We are here with the president of the international president of Institute of Information Management, and we're talking about obviously the different regions that the organization is operating. So, would you like to add some value to the show?
Well, I just want to congratulate the president for the effort he has been making all over the globe, and to also say that information management is the in thing. It's what drives even the AI with big data. So if you are strong in information management, going forward, you will not be lacking in the knowledge of AI. I just want to congratulate him. That was why I joined this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I like the fact that she inserted AI. This is something I was coming to, but thank you so much. I was going to mention how AI is involved now, and so we have to, move with times.
Exactly.
Okay, so as she's mentioned AI, and that was actually going to be my next question. So no need to ask now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about AI. How has it significantly changed the way you train people in the institute?
Well, when we talk about AI, generally, you talk about, your ability to be able to adopt technology into effectively carrying out certain functions within the organization. And just like she rightfully said, You can't have AI without quality data. AI would feed on data, and that is what's actually help you to get the ultimate results that you're actually out to get in. So, when we talk about AI, it's about, the ability of an organization, to look inward and be able to look at their business processes to see how and where, might require certain, interventions.
Has AI made it easy for you and for anybody trying to manage their data? Do you think AI has made it easy? Just
like any other technology, AI would make life so comfortable, so easy. And when we talk about, the cost of running a business, AI would definitely drastically reduce the cost of running your operation. It makes it to be more effective. It helps in the area of accuracy, in getting things done. You're able to reinvent what you've been doing over time seamlessly and effortlessly. So these are some of the opportunities that AI has got to bring into any kind of business, not even ours alone, but the society as a whole. And the onus is on individuals and organizations, to be able to look inward, look at their business processes, and be able to identify areas where there are bottlenecks and areas that they need to improve upon.
Amazing. Now, the Institute of Information Management has a lot of value, not just to individuals, but to government as well. And you are in Nigeria, Ghana, US, UK, Australia. I mean, you're in 9 countries. How come you're not maximizing and going global? Okay, let's just say, for instance, 54 African countries. Is there any challenges that you're facing?
Well, you've actually asked a pertinent question, which I think is very important. I must confess, on that TV show, it's not really been easy. All these beautiful things you see the Institute has been doing hasn't really been easy because we haven't really been getting any kind of funding or support from any local or international organizations.
Because this has high value. How come governments are not jumping to it?
It depends on the proactiveness of the particular government in quotes we're talking about, because we all could see the value that quality data could actually add, to developing a society or an organization, or even to better an individual's life.
Yes.
But it's so sad that rather than supporting information management, most governments across the globe, they tend to put more investment into technology, And when you're talking about information management, information drives technology. If you don't have data, if you don't have information, technology is going to be useless. It's just like the AI thing we're talking about. You need quality data for you to be able to get the right and desired result from AI. So if you don't have data, you can't have AI, you can't have any form of technology. But it's so sad that across the globe, it's not an African thing.
Is it not?
It's all over the world. There hasn't been enough support for information management, I must confess.
So, but have you tried to go on roundtable meetings with government officials or even the private sectors, the big companies? Have you tried? But what is the huge stumbling block that's stopping them to get involved?
Yeah, I think the primary driver would be regulation and laws. For example,
different countries?
Yes, in different countries. I'm going to use Nigeria as an example.
Right.
Right from when we had the Nigerian Data Protection Act in 2013, you could see the drive, of individuals and organizations towards data management. A lot of organizations are waking up from their slumber. They're beginning to see the need for them to ensure that those data and information they collect in the course of their business activities had to be adequately managed. Right. And this was made possible simply because we now have a law that made that possible. But in other climes, you only find people doing quality data and information management simply because they're trying to do best practice, in line with
private
global
companies.
Yeah, private companies, most especially. And, not until when we have information management, data management, institutionalized across the globe.
So,
that is
like,
when,
for instance, okay, so we're on Nigeria. So Nigeria, do they have like a ministry of, information management? Do they have it?
Yeah, of course, we do have Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Then we also have a Ministry of Communication. And those two ministries, they are in charge of information technology and information management.
So those are the ones that you collaborate with?
Sure.
So Nigeria is a done deal, right?
Yeah.
But all the other African countries, you found it difficult to penetrate?
Well, I wouldn't say we found it difficult to penetrate. It's just about funding, having enough funds to go around.
Right.
Even all these little things we're doing cost a lot of money, a lot of fortune, a lot of blood and sweat. In making this, a lot of sacrifice.
Right.
To make what you are saying today possible, and that is why we need to invite individuals, organizations to come on board to support the initiative, in whatever way they can do it, because it's actually in the interest of the society and the globe as a whole. The information management industry has got potentials, to create thousands of employment opportunities that, citizens can benefit from, regardless of the country, regardless of the continent. And not until when we're able to develop this to that level, we might not really be able to take full advantage of the potentials that it has got to provide.
Now, you're in London to hold the 58th, is it the 58th?
58th
induction.
Yeah.
What do you expect from London, and how can Londoners get involved? When you talk about, yes, you need support, support here, we mean funding.
Yeah.
So how can Londoners get involved?
Well, there are lots of opportunities. I think since 2018, you guys got the GDPR in London here, and I haven't really seen, London or the United Kingdom as a whole taking advantage of this. There are lots of opportunities that this could have actually provided in terms of, new employment opportunities. Because I haven't.
Let's take this call from.
Okay.
A caller that has been trying to get through. Hi, welcome to the show. Where are you calling from? Hello? Are you there? Okay. We'll come back. Or please send us a text if you can't get through on the phone, and we'll read your messages. Yes, so we were talking about London, and for me, I see London as a big institution, where, as a whole, a big city. We're not even talking about the entire UK, but London in itself can serve as, the gateway. And I know that this is not the first time you're doing this induction. Is it the fifth time? Is it the fifth?
The sixth.
The sixth time in London.
Yeah.
So surely, this time round, there must be something that should come out of it. Maybe meet some government officials, or some major companies.
Yeah, we hope to meet with some stakeholders before leaving, and hopefully next year is really going to be a different ball game, in terms of
So when you say stakeholders, what sectors? Like, for instance, let's go London. Just London by itself, not even Manchester or Birmingham. What sectors are you looking to bring in to the Institute?
Well, you'll agree with me that when we talk about data and information management, it's not really specific to any particular sector. If you look at the health sector, there's a whole lot of data being generated in that space.
That's huge.
If you talk about education, it's the same thing. If you talk about the public service and so on and so forth. So we're focusing right now on the regulatory agencies in the UK, because we believe, going through the regulatory agencies would really help us,
like
to
the
get
immigration.
like the Office of the Commissioner for Information and so on. And, that will really go a long way in helping to cascade the information down to the various stakeholders, because they look up to the Office of the Commissioner, for guidance and for, specification when it comes to how data is being collected, has been processed, and ultimately how data has been disposed.
And how many members do you have in the institute?
Well, right now we've got over 2,000 members
spread all over the world.
Yes.
But within these 2,000 members, surely there must be some of them that have big pockets.
A whole lot of them.
A whole lot of them.
A whole lot.
Then how do you convince them to kind of dig deep?
It's about personal conviction.
Can we tell them through the show?
It's a personal thing, and
yes,
and it's also about value.
What value?
It's also about value,
them.
And what over the years, the Institute of Information Management has actually created lots and lots of opportunities, for individuals, organizations, and governments, to be part of these initiatives. And we're so grateful that, some in principle, not financially, have actually seen value into what IIM is doing. And I think it's just a matter of time. We're almost there, going at the rate at which information data protection is going across the globe. It's just going to take a while, and the next thing, data management, information management, is going to become an household thing. And regardless of your discipline as a professional, you still need to have certain level of skills and knowledge on how to manage data and information. So gone are those days when we talk about computer literacy, but these days we're talking about information literacy, data literacy, and that is the next big thing that is going to happen. And I'm using this opportunity to encourage professionals, regardless of your field, regardless of your discipline. You need to be data literate. You need to ensure that you acquire the right skills, to be able to carry out whatever job function that you're being given. And, by so doing, you position yourself appropriately, and you're not scared of the fact that AI or technology is coming to take your job. Because a lot of people, they are scared.
There's real fear. Come on. Like, for instance, now when you go to supermarkets and, those people who are at the tail, earning, by just being at the tail and are no longer there because there's self-service, means jobs are slipping away. So AI, this is what I asked in the beginning, AI, how is it affecting what you're doing as well? Yeah. Has it taken over what you're doing? Because now people can just go online using AI and maybe not come to you for any training. So how has that affected?
Let me demystify your thoughts.
Yes.
Concerning this, rather than AI taking over, the truth is, I think it's an individual thing. It depends on how you look at it, because AI or technology is actually not taking people's job. It's only helping to upgrade what they are doing. So as a professional, you have to look at what you do and where technology has come in to disrupt what you're doing. So that is giving you an opportunity to learn and also upskill, for you to be able to stand the test of time in terms of job application, in terms of, how you get to do things in a better way. So rather than AI taking or technology taking people's job, it's actually creating opportunities for people that are proactive rather than being reactive. A lot of people you talked about that might have lost their job are people that are reactive in nature. Yes. You don't have to wait for technology to disrupt what you're doing. Yes. You need to go ahead, try to do your own research and see where technology has come to play in your discipline. And then upskill, position yourself, have the training, the certification, the knowledge, the experience, and you're going to be good to go. You're even going to become an hotcake, because those organizations that are still lagging behind will need people like you that already acquired the skill to help them in the area of implementation and execution.
Amazing. Yeah. Now, a lot of African countries still voting analog, like they don't have that digital, they haven't really moved into the digital voting.
Sure.
But when they do, I'm sure your organization will be key to what they're doing. What do you think?
Definitely. You know, I just mentioned about being data literate now.
Yes.
Data literacy is very key, it's very important. And that is why, you know, the area of awareness, because, okay, if we have to look at the African environment right now, we're still at the awareness stage. We need to move from awareness, you know, to application stage and to other stages. And that is when people will be able to see the true value of data and its application. And you can't just achieve that without people having the right knowledge, the right exposure, the right awareness, and also for them to be able to see that data actually has what is termed as true value.
Yes.
Because people will agree with you that data is important, data is good, but what
Because you have to give
efforts?
statistics.
Exactly. What efforts are they making individually as organizations? You know, first to ensure that within the organization they do have policies in place. If you don't have a policy, for example, you don't have information management or data management policy in your organization. So how do you want to manage data? A lot of organizations, as we speak today, have got quite a huge number of data, but they do not have
to manage it.
They don't have policy in place. It is when you have the policy in place that is what determines how the data is being collected, how the data is being classified, how it's being stored, how you grant access to people within the organization in order to ensure that only authorized personnel do have access to the information they are supposed to have access to. And ultimately ensuring that you play along with the law by ensuring that you're only able to keep what you're expected to keep. Today, if you have to do like an information audit in most organizations, you find tons of information that are outdated, that are supposed
and it's
to
all
have
spread everywhere.
everywhere.
It's not collected in one place.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So, I mean, Africa, going back to Africa, 54 countries. So do you find it overwhelming to reach all of these countries? Because so far, I think you're only in how many countries, African countries? 4?
Just 3 for now.
3 for now.
Yes.
Is it overwhelming for you, like to reach the 51?
It wouldn't be overwhelming if you have all the funds, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know, the technology is there for us. You know, it wouldn't, it's not rocket science, and it's not something that is that complicated. This is what we do, this is what we preach, this is what we teach, this is what we certify people on. And so to apply it is just, it's going to be a seamless thing if we have the financial support, you know, coming in, then making sure that we're able to, you know, extend the knowledge and education to people will just be so seamless for us.
So, for instance, say you're not in Uganda. Say
Yeah,
Uganda says, okay, we need your institute to come and, you know, offer the training. What value are you giving them? So can you share with us? Maybe one or two people might be watching, different countries. They might want to know the value.
Lot of values. You know, I've said so many things
Yeah.
right from when we started this discussion. You know, getting into any country for that matter, be it Kenya, be it Uganda, be it Somalia, anywhere in Africa, you know, we're actually going to create a new industry where people would have opportunity to be gainfully employed. You know, part of the value
So you're creating a department, a new department, which is going to create jobs.
It's actually beyond
Yeah.
departmental level.
Yeah.
This is a whole industry we're actually going to create, because what people are familiar with today is IT. When you talk about information technology, people will tell you, oh, we do have information technology departments in our organization. But what we're bringing on board is an entire industry called the IIM industry. The information management industry has got quite a number of disciplines that people can actually be trained and become certified to be gainfully employed on. So if we're getting into any country for that matter, you can be rest assured that we're going to be creating thousands of employment opportunities, and we're also going to help a lot of organizations to be able to do to run their businesses well. We're going to help governments to have control over the data and information. And when you also talk about decision making, because the quality of the decision being made by government or an organization, even as individual, the quality of the decision you're going to make will be dependent on the quality of the information that is available to you.
Right.
So we're
Because
going
you
to
can't just make things up.
exactly. You can't make things up. You have to base your decisions on facts.
Yes.
And how do you do this is by ensuring that, you know, you have the proper gatekeepers when it comes to how data is being collected, how it's being, you know, assessed, how it's being classified. By so doing, you're able to point and say, oh, this is the actual figure, the number of unemployed youths, the number of the aged, the fresh graduates. You know, when you have all those statistics, as a government, you're able to prioritize your policies. You're able to come up with other policies that might not be in existence.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, this will even
you know,
cut out, you know, the census, though.
Of course.
It will cut it out
Of
because
course.
a lot of countries wait after how many years to do
Before,
the census.
exactly.
But if you're continuously managing your data, then you don't really need that.
Of course.
So
It's going to save a lot of
it is
thousands of dollars, of pounds, naira, and so on, you know?
Yeah, yes. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of getting the right people to push the agenda.
True.
What do you think?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
And so does your organization have these kind of people, you know, like maybe ambassadors, maybe you call them ambassadors of your organization?
Definitely.
To push it, yes.
Definitely, we do have that.
Yes.
We do have an ambassador program, and you know, on that particular platform, we use it to identify people with authorities, people with influence, people that are passionate about a better society, people that want to see the society being run and being run better, and people that really want to contribute their own quota into developing the society. So we bring these people on board, you know, they become ambassadors, we recognize them, and they go out there, you know, with different initiatives. We provide support for them, we provide the platform, and we ensure that, you know, they're able to, you know, have the opportunity for their own individual impacts to be felt in the society, because certain people are out there, they've got the potentials, they've got the finances, they've got everything, but there isn't a platform for them to be able to.
So then, how do we attract these ambassadors or recruit them or bring them into the organization? How do you, for instance, if I have people around me that I think might qualify, what's the criteria? How do I bring them in?
Well, to bring them in and the criteria, there are two different things.
Yeah.
The criteria, like I mentioned earlier on, you know, have to be a person of influence, person of authority.
Famous?
Not necessarily. When I say influence, you might be influential within your own organization.
Right.
You know,
That is a decision maker.
That is a community
policy
on its
maker,
own.
or you know.
You know, regardless of where you find yourself, in as much as you have influence within your immediate environment, you are qualified. Because we can't just focus on the society in a blanket. You know, we have to be able to do it in a way that people are able to have people with control over their immediate environment or influence over their immediate environment.
Managers,
of course,
or
supervisors,
CEOs,
managers,
yes.
you know, decision makers.
Yeah.
Movers and shakers of industries and so on and so forth are qualified to join. Then you ask me, how do we get them on board? We get them on board through programs like the program we're going to be having here in in London on Saturday. That's an opportunity where people get to see what we do and, you know, get to see where they fit in and where they can actually contribute positively, you know, into making things happen.
Amazing. And so the institute, as you say, is global. So I would imagine it's diverse, you know, different. Okay, let's pick this one. Hi, welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chief Richmond McGray, calling from London. Hello,
Chief,
Pauline, how are you?
I'm great. The High Chief? High Chief?
Yeah.
How are
Is
you?
that High Chief Rich?
Longest time.
Because he said Chief Rich. He said Chief, and I thought,
Yes,
Chief Richmond?
It's me.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm very well, good.
And
You know?
I suppose, you know, you're a member of the institute?
Sure.
Yes, I am.
A diehard member for that matter.
Yes.
And so we're preparing for the event on Saturday.
I just came home now and saw a message from Ambassador that you know, his life, because I am the chairman of the board of executives of the Commonwealth Countries League and also a trustee of the Commonwealth. And based on that, I am also a member of the FIIM, that's Federation of International Women Worldwide. So I went to the meeting just now, and I'm the only man there. So I had to quickly get out of the place before the women will eat me raw.
Amazing. So yes, we've had.
So how have you been?
We've been great, and we've had some wonderful things about the institute. And so, how are you preparing for Saturday, for the event coming up on Saturday?
I've already got my clothes ready, all ironed, ready. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
And every day I keep asking myself, like a child in the car, say, are we not there yet? Are we not there yet? You know? So Saturday looks far to me. It's like we should bring it forward to tomorrow or today.
Amazing. And so, Hi Chief, we were talking about, financing, getting the institute to more countries than 9 countries because, the world is big. And so one of the challenges that Ambassador Dr. Mentioned here is the lack of funding. And so what do you think? How can we help in this area?
It's courses. If you know how much students pay to come to England in this, or to pay to higher institutions in this country, you'll be shocked. Most of my grandchildren all schooled in England, and they all went to private school, went to universities and everything. And private school, I know that they were paying about £17,000 each, And so if, people pay to go to school.
Right. So we should encourage people to buy the courses. Amazing. So
yes.
See, this is okay. That's great. Actually, that's something to take away.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the call.
And you see, it is not just buying the course. You see, let me take you back because my brain, when it comes to business, I will tell you where business will prosper or where business will fail. This is where I am blessed with. You see, if people pay for the course, the final exams, will not be, then you can say, okay, people will take this course, it's something that people can afford and becoming. Then when it comes to the final exam, they may have to come maybe to England or go to South Africa for the final exam. Because if it is not so, it will not carry some value.
Amazing. Yes, that makes sense.
It will carry value because in Africa, most especially, I mean across the world, if you come in with a foreign qualification, people raise their eyebrow. Then they want to look at it, they want to investigate, they want to find out. But if you come in with the qualification everybody sees every day, it doesn't carry. It's like when you have when your girlfriend is with you or your husband is with you, you lose value.
Yes.
But when they go on holiday and they come back, then you tend to give them a bit of attention. Amazing. In those days, Ambassador will understand that there's something they call London Cambridge, that our foreparents went to, did to get admission to higher institution in this country. In Nigeria, you have to do the London Cambridge, exams, and all the papers were marked abroad, not marked in the country, and there's something they call rapid result college in those days, and you will buy the courses, you will do these things, but the qualification that comes with it will not be given to you by your course center.
Right.
Your course center could be in a primary school where people go to in the evening to do their courses and so on. But when the qualification comes, it will not come from there.
Right. So, so in essence,
your paper will be marked abroad, and the qualification will carry the weight of abroad.
Amazing. So I think we can talk more about this on Saturday. I look forward to seeing you then.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much for the call. Thank you.
What time should we be there?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Thank you. Okay. I think that he has given some really key points, the courses, and that says it all, actually, because the institution needs to be self-funded.
Sustaining.
Yeah, sustainability
and that has what has been sustaining us.
So,
you know,
we just need to open up these courses.
For us to scale up, I would tell you, for us to scale up, you know, there has to be a certain level of funding, you know, at a particular pace if we really want to move. But when you talk about sustainability, which is what has been keeping us going, these are the things we're already doing. You know, we're having courses, we're having programs, you know, to sustain the initiative. And like, you know, we've been around since, the Institute has been around since 2010. So this is about 15 years. So it means we're self-sustaining for 15 years. So for us to scale to the next level, to capture the entire African countries, like you said, we definitely need something to, as a catalyst, you know, to take us there.
To position it as the main institution in Africa for information management.
Exactly. We're actually the premier professional institutes across Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We are the premier.
There's no rival?
No. None for now.
None for now.
Yes.
But this is why I keep saying all the rest of the 51 countries. I'm sure, you know, if we knock on those doors harder, you know.
The truth of the matter is, it's not as if we've not really made any sort of inroads into those countries. And I can tell you authoritatively that we've got quite a number of African countries that are in the pipeline, you know. But we do have you know, we have the requirements before a particular country can be named a chapter. So in as much as they are yet to meet up with those,
they have to meet up.
Once they hit that, then we announce them. The particular country.
What are the
as
basic
a chapter.
Requirements?
You know, it has to do with number of members, accredited members that are already there. You know,
individuals or
individuals and organizations, a combination. Yeah. So once we hit that, then a particular country can be called a chapter.
So what's the minimum target?
Minimum in a country, we would expect nothing less than 50. Minimum of just 50. Yeah.
Just 50?
Just 50 to start.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that's doable. Let's set a target right here. by the end of the year, shall we say that maybe we should hit 20 countries? By the end of the year?
Very, very possible.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think that I will personally, you know, drive some of these countries as, you know, as a fellow, and great. Of course as you know, consulting for the institute, because I think that this, as you say, is a whole new industry that you know that Africa right now, the population is, you know, the 75% is the youth.
Exactly.
And from that number, the unemployed is so high. I would say maybe even 80%. They are constantly looking for, you know, they want to opportunities, they want to get employed, they want, you know, and I find that the young people of these days are actually quite interesting. They don't fear learning.
True.
And you know, learning something new.
They are digital natives.
Going to the next. It's not like us back then. If you're a nurse, you were born a nurse. Your mom is a nurse. Your great grandmother was a nurse. Everybody's dying. You know, by the time you died a nurse, and you're scared of trying something else.
Yeah.
So we're in an era where these young people are hungry. And so when I'm saying that we need to target 20 countries, already in my head I'm thinking, I'm looking at the young people.
True.
I'm not even looking at, I'm looking at, you know, from 18 going up, you know.
In fact, part of our initiative
Yes.
is to encourage
Do you
governments-
actually have a young league of the organization?
Of course.
Yeah, the youth part of it.
We
Yeah.
used to call it the RFK network,
Okay.
and later it transformed into Information Academy. So that initiative is actually targeted at young upcoming students in primary
so like
school.
from what age? Like from primary? Ooh,
From
okay.
primary school, you know, because we believe data knowledge is something they need, you know, to start acquiring right from the tender age.
So
you know,
is this
so that by the
something
time
that is this something that is ongoing, or you used to have it?
well, we used to have it. It's been there all this
Can you
while.
bring it back
We can
to
bring
life?
it. We can bring it back, but like I told you,
Yes.
we
need funding.
We need funding.
Yeah, because I think that
it has gotten to a level that government needs to be involved.
that's it.
Private organizations need to come in. You know, there are lots of investment opportunities for them to even make money. You know.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because I think that right now African governments, I know that yes, they are focusing on food security, yes, but also the population, the huge population, which is the youth. They want to see the youth prosper.
Sure.
So one of the things that maybe I will do as well is, you know, contact a few government officials. If you bring back that youth wing,
Yeah.
I think that's maybe how we should start.
Okay.
We should start with that, bringing back that, and then get the governments involved, get the private sector involved.
Yeah.
You know, some private schools, you know, universities, colleges. You know, these courses is something they would buy for their students. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
and then maybe it would just be a matter of collaborations and, you know, cooperation, you know, being flexible. And I'm sure, you know, the institute is quite flexible. I'm
Of
sure.
course, we're
Yeah.
flexible. All this you just mentioned are things that are even ongoing as we speak.
Yes, yeah.
There are universities we're working with,
Yeah.
you know, trying to adopt our certification program in knowledge management and so on. You know,
Are you working with any UK universities?
not yet, none yet.
So then that's something again that we should look into.
Yeah.
But what about US and Australia?
Of course.
Of course, yes. So I think that looking at things, the UK really needs to take this on board.
Definitely.
Because if you've been here, this is the 6th time you're doing this
Exactly.
induction.
Sure.
You know, the UK needs to step up and show you that they are committed.
Exactly. And
You
come
know?
to think of it,
Yes.
you know, the first international chapter of the institute was actually in the UK. It was the UK that, you know, we got the first international chapter, and by now one would have thought that, you know, it will have gone farther than where it is today. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. I don't know if it's afternoon where you are or morning, but where are you calling from? Hello?
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Where are you calling from?
Nigeria.
Welcome to the show. Share your views, please. Hello? Are you there? Okay, if you're having any technical issues, do send us your text messages, and I think I am going to now read a couple of text messages. Okay, let's get this one. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening. My name is Alexander Embassy.
Hi, Alexander.
Can you
Where are
hear
you
me?
calling from? Yes.
Calling from Nigeria. Hello, our international president, Doctor. Good night to see you. Calling
How
from
are you?
Nigeria.
How are you, Mr. Nago? How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah.
I'm watching live.
Nice having you online.
Yeah. Is he a member?
Of course.
Yeah. Tell us the value since you joined, so that we can have other people join in according to you, what you benefited from being a member.
Okay, I've been a member since the inception of the institute, right? And the institute has had a lot of value in terms of how we think about information management. Of course, I'm a practitioner in information management and data protection. So we've come a long way with the institute. What value we see is about spreading the value and importance of information management across the globe. We actually started from Nigeria before we went ahead to all over the world.
Right.
And our president, because of his passion and the zeal, that's got into us, and we decided to try to support him. Right. We just completed a lot of projects like the certification you're talking about for data protection. He made me the project manager for that project, and that was a very good stuff. And Nigeria was the first country to launch an African local data protection certification in line similar to GDPR certifications. And our institute is the one that does the certification. So I think it's a global thing that we need to adopt, and the institute has come to stay. I hear about university partnership. That is long overdue, honestly. However, the institute needs a lot of support. We have been supporting a lot. I think this year I won 3 awards from the institute as a outstanding facilitator.
Well done.
Also, again, and volunteer of the year as well. So it's something that I appreciate, that the institute have recognized that my effort, and also the effort the president has instilled in us. So we keep looking forward to taking it to the next level. I think we're going to the stage where we need to ensure that the government gives grants, because there are a lot of projects we want to do, a lot of things we need to do. We've done a lot to support the government. I think that we supported the government in our country. There's a lot we need to do to ensure that everybody understands the information management. In fact, as we are speaking in this interview, Mr. President, I was thinking about why don't we change that? There's a need for a narrative change where we keep having information technology. It should actually be information management and technology going forward, because without streamlining the information, technology will be useless. So I think it's time we start promoting that so that everybody begins to understand that narrative. Thank you very much.
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant. I'm really happy with that. And I mean, it's calls like that, that will encourage, people that want to join in. And this, as you say, that, you're sustaining it through the courses, but really and truly right now, it's the time to get the grants in. You need grants in, you need investors, because I personally, I actually didn't even see it.
That's right.
The way you see it, I didn't see it that way until you mentioned that it's going to create jobs. It's a whole brand new industry.
True.
Do you know how many young people are going to be employed through this?
True.
This is
It's huge.
You're sitting on a gold mine for African governments, basically. And I think with brilliant minds like him, you can be on roundtables, strategize, and see how we can knock down those doors, those government walls, and I know Africa, there's a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of corridors to go through.
True,
but you know what? We can move. We move. We get in. We know how to get in.
Exactly.
Yeah, and especially when we know that we want to uplift the youth, then we have to do this.
Definitely.
Yeah. I want to congratulate you as well for
Thank you.
Sustaining since 2010.
Yeah.
It's not been easy. I know when I asked you earlier on about how it's going and how it's been, and I saw your face and you said the challenges. And when you say challenges, I knew straight away without you mentioning funding that is the key issue. You have the passion, you have the drive, you want to make sure this thing goes everywhere. You've got the people.
Yeah.
but the funding.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that after today, there should be funding coming in.
Amen. I pray so.
Oh yes, there's money in this world. One is
Of
not in
course.
heaven. No. Money is right here with us.
Exactly.
You know, there are people
I
that
agree.
have it and don't know where to channel it.
Yeah, I agree
And
with
so we
you.
just need to table this to them. And maybe even hopefully we can invite some of them on Saturday.
That would be
Yeah, it
brilliant,
looks like,
sure.
you know, everybody's looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can we expect? We've got 1 minute left. Maybe you can let the viewers know what to expect. And
Well,
maybe
on
people can show up.
Saturday, it's going to be a wonderful gathering of professionals in the field of information management and technology, and we're going to use that opportunity, you know, to discuss the theme for this year and share lessons learned and best practices for professionals within the United Kingdom, you know, for them to be able to carry out their day-to-day functions effectively and in line with the laws and the regulation.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we're also going to recognize individuals too that have contributed to the development of the institute and the industry. We're going to be awarding them and recognizing them for their efforts. So you too can do exploits, and I can assure you that it will not just go down the drain without it being adequately recognized and rewarded. Yeah.
Fantastic. Personally, I look forward to being there. I mean, I've already been inducted a few years ago, so
Sure.
thank you so much, and
We'll
thank
be
you for
glad to
coming.
have
And
you.
until next time, goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
You are watching Faithworld TV. Faithworld TV, changing the world with the Word of God.